since the summer of 2020, as I became very, very vocal in this larger conversation of simple equality, of basic inclusion. I'm not talking about anything like wildly revolutionary here, but the way you see it on the news, you sure it would sound like it. We trust people in this country with every caliber weapon on earth, but suddenly we're going to start banning books because of what people might learn about how we got here. It's wild to comprehend. But I get DMs, all the time from people who tell me that I've turned on them, that, we made it possible for you to be the person that you are. And now you're talking about these things. Suddenly you're Black. Suddenly? I've been me and walking through this journey and going through all these different types of equations subliminally whilst being in your company, that if you could comprehend them, your brain would explode. Just in being me, being Black in these spaces. But now, because I'm vocal about what my experiences are, that triggers you to be like, well, you must be making that up. I can't count how many times I've just gotten used to the stares and the lift lines. When you lift your goggles up and people see that, oh, you're built a bit differently. And they're just perplexed at how could you even be out here sharing in this space and having the same joy as I am. So, as long as those things exist, I don't have a choice, because I love these things so much. I want everybody to have a shot at them. And people get nervous when you suddenly start talking about expansion of landscape. It starts, or access. The first thing that comes to people's minds is like, oh, someone's trying to take something away from me. And yeah, so that's been some of the challenges. But again, I'm able to do it with joy, because as I said at the very outset, like, I just love all this too much for any of those things or barriers or people's inability to want to see what it might be for not just me, but for people who face challenges and are marginalized in various ways. That I never thought in my lifetime that the word empathy would be like a real curse word. But I see now how even the conversation, the idea of like, hey, maybe you might want to employ some empathy, that freaks people out. So we have a long way to go, but I'm hopeful. I see the manner in which I think I'm grateful for brands that have decided that they want to build it into their culture, and take the lead. That's one of my favorite things about working with you guys at Timber. I was like, this it's so refreshing for people to be like, we want to build this into culture and have it be what we're known for, like anything else in our brand, but we're not going to toot our horns about it. And we're also not afraid to like continue to ask questions and learn and have dialogue and be in exchange, so that it's not performative. This idea that like, okay, we've done enough ads featuring this group and this group and this group as we were. That's not going to serve or solve for anything. I was in a meeting this morning at a brand that I sit on the board at, and we were talking about storytelling. And I said, look, if you want to tell different stories, then you got to get access to those people who know how to tell those stories. And just because you haven't seen them, or you're not finding them in the normal circles that you tap for collaborations and for vendors, doesn't mean they're not out there. And if you're willing to search and find, not only will you get access to some innovative new storytelling, but you're going to be more profitable too.